abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act, well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are doing some kitchen organizing. We just moved into this house in July and I have yet to organize anything at all, so we're diving in today to see how much I'm able to get done. I bought only 2 new things for this video. Everything else I already had. Anything I can link for you down below, I will. All of this is going to be renter friendly because although I own now, I still think it's important to help all my renters out because I know how tough that can be. So if you need some organizing motivation or some organizing ideas, make sure you stay tuned. We are keeping this video very simple. I know typically I try to come up with kind of unique ways to organize, but I like to think of this one as super basic and sort of a preliminary organization before I go back in and do it all again. We have to figure out the best place for things, if the way I have everything sorted is working, that type of thing, for a while before I go ahead and kind of finalize it with a bigger organization. These are all the things that I'm starting off with today to organize. I just grabbed anything and everything from in my basement that I thought might be useful or that I used in my kitchen before. So I'm just gonna pick and choose a couple of things from all of this to try and get some organizing done. If you're wondering why my kitchen looks a little bit crazy in this video, it's because we were in the middle of getting ready for new appliances to arrive. So we had to rip down some cabinets, and then also we were covering up our tile floors with these peel and stick floor planks. The first area that we're starting off with is the utensil drawer. So of course I'm going to just take every single thing out of it so I can see the space that I'm working with, and I'm going to clean it out. I'm using an organizer that I actually used to have from my old house way back in the day that didn't fit in my apartment, and now I can fit it in this drawer here, so I'm going to use it because I just really liked this one. I like that I can separate out the spoons and the forks by size, which seems like a really silly thing to care about, but I don't know, I just like it. So I will link this one down below if I can find it. It is an adjustable organizer, and it does come with another piece to it that I didn't end up attaching, and I think it was from Bed Bath & Beyond, so if I can find it I'll link it, and if not I'll put something similar. I wanted to add this disclaimer in here because I know I will get comments about it. I know that my kitchen is not the smallest kitchen ever, and I'm calling this a small kitchen organizing video. That's because I'm trying to reach the people who do have really small kitchens, because I've been there and I really just want to help give some ideas for people who have a small space. Under my kitchen sink has been an absolute wreck since we moved in, and it's been driving me crazy, but I haven't had time to really go through it and just figure out what I actually needed down there. Also, we have a garbage disposal in this house, and that makes it really tricky to put any sort of organizer under my sink because nothing fits, and you'll see that in a minute. I end up having to put in something kind of crooked, and it does bother me. I don't know if it's going to bother you guys too, but it for sure bothers me, so I'm still on the hunt for a better system for under my sink, but at least for now, I just wanted to take everything out and kind of redo this, and also cover up all the stains that were at the bottom of this cabinet using some of that non-slip liner.
I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk.
I think I got this non-slip liner from Target, but I'm not 100% sure. I've had it for a long time, so I barely bought anything new for this video at all, and I just happened to find this in a box while we were unpacking, and I was really happy because we have a ton of cabinets in this kitchen that just really have seen better days, and I'd rather just cover them up than have to look at the stains. I love these stackable sliding drawers for under the sink, and this one clearly does not fit because of the garbage disposal and the pipes, but I'm hoping I can find something a little bit smaller that does the same thing. I just feel like this works really well for me, having this system and being able to just pull out a drawer as opposed to having to bend down and climb practically into my cabinet to grab something. So hopefully I can find something a little bit smaller that works better pretty soon, but at least for now, this is fine. When I'm organizing and I'm trying to decide where to put things or what order to put things, I will think about how often I actually use something, and whatever I use the most often will go in the front or the space that is the easiest to access. And anything that I don't use as often, I will just kind of put in the back or in a system that maybe is a little bit more tricky. Like for example, I'm going to use a rising shelf right here, and sometimes it can be harder to reach the things that are in the back or underneath it. So if I don't use them that often, then it's totally fine that they're more difficult to reach because I'm much less likely to grab them on a regular basis. Under my sink is by no means perfect, but it definitely looks a lot better than it did before, and it has been much more functional for us. I have found this corner cabinet to be very tricky, and I'm just honestly not sure what I actually want to store in here. It has a lot of space, but it's just very deep and it's kind of awkward for me to reach things. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but for now I wanted to at least get everything sorted into bins. It will make it a lot easier for me when I'm trying to grab something to slide out a bin as opposed to trying to search through all of the mess to figure out where something is or figure out what I have. So I'm just going to separate out all of my spices. So baking things will go into one bin, and spices for cooking and things like that will go into another bin. And I got all of these bins from the Dollar Tree, so I'm not able to link them down below, but that is where I found them if you're looking for something similar. For me, this is very much a temporary solution, but it does work for now, and it does help me to just get things sorted out and make it a little bit easier for me when I'm trying to grab things. This bin right here, I'm just using to fill up with snacks that were laying on my countertops and driving me crazy. Some of these snacks are things that I just don't want my son to be able to reach all the time, so I don't want to put them in my pantry. So I felt like a bin made more sense, and I'm just going to put that on top of my fridge for now. This cabinet here is very awkward. It's tall and slim. It already had an organizer in it from the previous owner, so I just wanted to take it out and clean out the cabinet a little bit, which as you can see was kind of tricky. And then I'm going to end up putting my baking sheets and things in there, but I was trying out a couple of different things before I figured out what worked, which is very typical for me when organizing. I can put things in and take them out and put things in and take them out over and over again before I finally make a decision about what belongs there. But the next thing that we're going to do is put away all of my pots and pans that I had yet to fully unpack since moving in. So I got this over-the-door lid organizer from the Container Store, and I didn't take the label off because I wanted to make sure that it worked before I fully committed to owning this product. So for now, it has been really good. I can't say for sure that it's like my favorite system I've ever done for organizing lids. If you guys have seen my other videos, I have some other ideas that I think I liked better, but it does work. And if you are looking for a very simple and easy way to organize your lids, then these will work for sure.
You said it was nothing, but I knew you get buried. The sorrow of us, the sorrow of us. How did we end up here? We used to laugh so hard.
This is another cabinet that is very difficult for me to figure out what to put in it. It's just kind of awkward. I've always wanted like the Lazy Susan, and now I don't really know what to do with it. So if you guys have any suggestions of what's a good thing to put in there, then let me know down below. But for now, I have a ton of serveware in there, and I decided to also move our containers down there. So the ones that we use for leftovers or lunches, just made more sense for me to put them down below because they're glass, and I would really rather not have one fall out and hit somebody in the head. But now we're going to focus on this drawer that I was using for kitchen towels, but I felt like it made more sense to make it a junk drawer. We had a ton of stuff accumulating on our countertops, and I can't stand that. So I just feel like they needed a home. So I have an old organizer from way back in my old house that was also from Bed Bath & Beyond that I really like. And I'm just going to use that to try and sort everything out so that we actually have a junk drawer and a space for all of the miscellaneous kitchen items to go.
How did we end up here? We used to laugh so hard. When did we stop loving, babe? When did it all go too far? We don't listen when we talk. We fight fire with fire. It's like we don't know how to talk without the flames getting higher.
Here we have yet another awkward cabinet that I don't know what to do with, so if you guys have any suggestions, make sure you let me know. I did originally try to put pots and pans in here, but it was just not working. There was not enough space, and it was just kind of awkward, so I'm going to put all of my baking supplies in there for now. And there really was no rhyme or reason for this. I was just trying to make everything fit as best as possible. But again, if you guys have any better ideas, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Like I said, this is very much a preliminary organization just to get everything unpacked and try to figure out a home for it. But this does not necessarily mean this is where everything is going to stay. Nothing is ever final. Everything can be changed. I just needed to get everything initially organized and just figure out what works for us before I do like a full-on organization project. These bins were from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just using them to put any of the more dangerous utensils that I don't want laying around. We do have a 4-year-old, and I worry about him grabbing something really sharp, and we also have a baby on the way, so just want to make sure everything is child-proofed as much as possible. So I'm sorting all those kind of dangerous utensils and putting them up high where the kids cannot reach them. The next space that we're going to work on is where we put all of our bowls and cups. I wanted to separate everything out that was for children and put it into a separate cabinet because there just was not enough room for everything in this one cabinet, and it just looked way too cluttered. So I'm going to go ahead and take all the kids' things out of there and then reorganize everything that actually belongs in this cabinet. I like to use shelf risers in cabinets like this, and I'm sure that if you've seen my other organizing videos, you know that. So I'm using one here just to add a little bit more vertical space. And again, anything that I can find, I will link in my description box below if you're looking for something similar. This is the cabinet that I picked to put like the children's dinnerware and cups and things like that in, but I'm sure that once the baby comes and we have maybe things like bottles and eventually we have like baby feeding supplies and stuff, this may not work, but at least for now, this is a solution. This was a few days later, but I wanted to show you guys. We got some of our new appliances in. So we got our dishwasher, our floors were almost complete. They look pretty good for two people who have no idea how to do floors. And then also our new stove came in. So we're still waiting for our fridge and our microwave, but very excited to have some new appliances. And now I'm going to show you just some cereal organizers that I got off of Amazon. I wanted to include this because these cereal organizers were actually pretty affordable and they were very good quality, so I was pretty excited about them. I want to say that the set of 6 was like $30, which is really not bad if you compare to cereal containers from like Target or the Container Store or Bed Bath & Beyond. I felt like this was a pretty good deal. And it also came with a measuring cup, it came with labels, and it came with a little chalk marker so you can write out what's in each of the containers. And I'm of course going to give these a really good wash. I wanted to make sure that I included this because I don't want you guys thinking that I just pulled these out of a box from Amazon and just put my food right into them, because I would not do that and you should never do that. Definitely always clean the things that you get to store food in before you actually use them. Now we're just going to go ahead and fill up all of those cereal containers now that they are clean and dry. And no, we don't have the healthiest cereals ever to select from at the moment, and that's because my 4-year-old picked out the majority of them. So don't judge me. I am definitely going to try to get him on some healthier cereals, but for now I just gotta let him live. That is it for this week's video and for this portion of my kitchen organizing series that I'm going to be starting back up now that we're living somewhere else. So not only do I need to organize this kitchen, but I also need to organize the kitchen when we make it over, which is coming soon. So if you're interested in seeing our kitchen makeover, then definitely make sure you subscribe and you turn on your notification bells so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back again next week for another one.